Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Ron, and I'm back with you for another lesson from Boomer Life Lessons and Stories. And when I say lesson, it's part lesson, part story, part something that we hope will be helpful and useful to you in your life. So, what are we going to talk about today? Life choices. They do make a difference. And if you'd like to hear more about that, please stay tuned and we'll get to it in just a moment. If you could, though, please like, share, and subscribe. That will help us with the YouTube algorithm, and perhaps others may hear what we have to say, and it might be helpful to them as well. Okay, so where do we begin? Well, how about life choices? I mean, I can think back in my career and decisions that I personally made, and then after I got married, my wife and I made together. And some of them were really good, and some of them were not so good. Some of them put us on pathways that we were not really happy with, and so we knew we would have to make a change. So we are shaped by our choices. And this is a quote, basically, it's a paraphrase from another individual that I took a seminar from. He said that as individuals, we are the sum total of everything we've seen, smelt, tasted, felt of, hoped for, dreamed of. So my question is, what have you dreamed of? What have you hoped for? Are you satisfied with the arc of your life right now? Or do you find yourself thinking, you know, maybe there's something better for me and my family out there? Maybe I'm not on the best path. So we get dissatisfied. Happenstance occurs, of course, and sometimes it's good, but most of the time it's bad. And then we have to make decisions about that happenstance. We have to make choices. We want better outcomes for our family and ourselves when happenstance occurs, or when the plans we put in place do not work out as well as we had hoped they would. So when we do this, we need to make better choices. If we want better outcomes, we have to think differently. We have to prepare ourselves along different pathways. We may even have to reach out and develop skills in this direction that would make us more capable so that we can achieve goals and aspirations over in that direction. We are the sum total of everything we've seen, smelt, tasted, hoped for, and dreamed of, as I said earlier. But if we continue doing the same things over and over again, and if we continue telling ourselves the same things, well, I'm not as good as they are, or I'm not as smart as they are, then we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. We're setting ourselves up for perhaps worse yet, uh, failure. As a matter of fact, this past week, I had a student come to my office, and some of you may know that I teach at one of our local universities here, and I have the distinct pleasure of engaging and privilege engaging with my students, and these are 20 somethings. There's a few students that are older than that perhaps have come in to change the direction of their life through education. But one came to my office and he was having trouble with some of the material that we were discussing in the lectures. And he said, well, Professor, I'm not the smartest individual. He goes, you know, there's smarter people in the class. And so what I told him was two things. First, you are more capable than you think you are. And I've talked a lot about that in previous episodes. And then I told him, I said, if you keep telling yourself that, then you're going to be kind of fulfilling that prophecy in so many words. You need to put your life and your thinking on a different pathway so that you can become the person you want to be and have the successes that you want to have. Of course, there's no guarantee in life. We can't control happenstance, but what we can do is control how we react to happenstance and how we choose to do something different. So if you're in a place where you're not happy with your life. Say you're not happy with your career. Say you're not making enough money. Say you're in debt. Well, here's another saying. If you continue doing the same things that you've done in the past and hoping for different outcomes, that's a definition of insanity. Of course, that's a quote. So it says that you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to change who you are, change your mentality about things. Tell yourself you are capable, and you are. You are more capable than you think you are. And then perhaps make a plan. Think about what you need to do or to have as far as skill sets in order to be successful in this particular arc of your life, rather than continue down that same path that brings you each and every day to the same place. Isn't that called Groundhog's Day? When I think there was a movie made about that. If you arrive at the same place each and every day and you're not happy and you're not doing anything to change that, well, guess what? That's on you. If you want to be something different, if you want to find yourself in a different place, it takes effort. It takes hard work. You cannot, by happenstance, get there. You know, doing nothing is not really a good plan to achieve anything. If you want, and I hear this a lot from my students, and I hope they are able to do this, but I don't think it's a realistic hope or desire. But they say, I want to retire by the time I'm 40. Well, you may reach 40 and you may stop doing your main job and you may achieve some financial independence, but you're always going to be doing something. And hopefully it'll be giving back to the community, right? But be that as it may be, you're going to have to re-educate yourself, draw in more skills, more awareness. And that re-education may be through formal studies, like a new degree plan. I have students that have degrees in other fields, and they've chosen to come back to school because they want to do better for themselves and their family by taking on the work, the hard work, to achieve a different type of degree that will allow them to make better money. And that's noble because they want to do better for themselves and for their family. So perhaps it's more formal studies. It could be informal studies. Perhaps it's going to some type of trade school and getting some education, or some business school. I did when I was mid-career, and I was doing well as an engineer, but I wanted to know more about how companies were stood up, how they progressed from an idea to reality. And so I went and took some investment classes at night through some banking firms that offered these classes, and I got certifications and license. And I then became more knowledgeable about how companies operate and why they do the things they do, because there's lots of demands on them, including from the ownership, the stockholders. But I went and got that self-study. I didn't change directions, but it helped me go through that pathway that I was traveling down and do more with my effort for the company. And I do believe it helped me advance with the company. So formal education, self-study, taking seminars, all of that is goodness about bringing in extra awareness and skill set. There is another way as well, perhaps two, but one is get a mentor. But you see, we're not always able to find mentors. And sometimes the mentoring development relationship just develops and we're unaware until we're in it and we see the benefit of dialoguing with these individuals or this individual. But sometimes mentors are assigned, or sometimes they're assigned because you've asked for them. But in any case, to derive any benefit from any of that, it requires you applying energy. It requires hard work. Nobody owes you anything. And you don't owe anybody anything, except you owe each other, treating each other with dignity and respect. So, you know, I'm going to look out for and take care of my family. I'm going to look out and take care of my friends and my community I find myself in. But beyond that, you know, I feel like if I can be the best person I can, when new things arise, maybe I can do more at a future state. But complete strangers, This may sound kind of harsh, but I feel no allegiance to them other than, abiding by the social contract. And the social contract is the rule of law. We each have an opportunity to exercise our free will within this social contract, this rule of law. And we can choose to go study and get trained in this area or in this area, or we can choose to leave school in junior high school or high school and not complete high school. Those are personal decisions. I can't make them for you, right? But what I would suggest is there's a better way. And the better way is through education and persevering until you achieve certain competencies in the skills that will allow you to do better going forward. Remember, the thing about the past is it's the past. You can't change it, right? At least not in this physical universe that we find ourselves in. You can't change it. So what do? We have to make better choices, better decisions. And as the future rolls forward into the present, we need to make decisions that will allow us to do better and be something more tomorrow than we are today. There's two things that are not good plans for success. Depending on others for your net well-being, that's not a plan for success, right? And doing nothing, that is not a plan for achieving your goals and your dreams for yourself and for your family. So you see, life choices, they do matter. They make a difference in our life, either to the positive or to the negative. But if we're not happy with where we are today, here's the question you have to answer yourself. What are you going to do about it? Doing nothing is not an answer. And depending solely on others, that too is not an answer. It's been said might have been Dave Ramsey or somebody along those lines, that doing nothing doesn't create wealth. If you want to create wealth for yourself and your family, get the skills that will allow you to take on a profession that you can earn good money, and then you can be above your bills and everything that's required for you to pay to just live. Then you take that excess over that and you invest. And as you begin to invest, you have more opportunities because that investment's going to earn you money. And of course, if you invest properly, there's bad investments out there. But read the book before you make the decision and get professional help when you think you need it. But this is all about the future state. It's all about you and your family being something more than you are today by making better decisions, by making better choices. And with that, my friends, I hope this has been beneficial. You take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next episode. All the best.